Our our next icon, it's called parallel curve. This is a little easier. All we can do is turn this off. Let's insert another folder, geometrical set, and let's call it the parallel curve. And we have to make sure we put it into our test. This test here is this folder over here, so we want to make sure that we put it in the same category, make it nice and organized. And let's create ourselves a little surface. I'm going to create a line here, and this time instead of making it rectangular and just use this fill-in option, I'm just going to use the extrude. But see, right now it's going up and down. I don't want to go up and down, so I'm going to change the direction to go on the Y direction. So on the direction, I'm going to click Y. That's better. Click OK. I'm going to change the color because I want to make sure that you guys are able to see what I'm doing in here. So let's click on the surface first. See, it's all highlighted. And let's change the color. Let's click on this, sketch number 18. And we can turn that off from here. Now let's click on the surface and put a sketch on top of it. Let's get out of the surface, the sketch. And I'm gonna create another point. I can create a point on a sketch, so I can click a sketch and make it on this plane and create a point. So let's do it. I'm gonna do it both ways. So I'm just gonna create a point on a sketch, and I'm just gonna get out. Or I can create a point. This is a point in a sketch, on a 2D sketch. Or I can create a 3D point, which is work this way. First click on the plane, then click on the point, and it knows that this point is going to be built in a 3D mode, but on this plane also. So I'm going to bring it in here. So those are the dimensions, you can change them in here. So I got 2 points. There's 2 ways you can make it. 3D point, which is click on the sketch and just move it wherever you want. If you double click, if you double click on the point, you can change the dimensions whatever you want. Or we can create a sketch point. It's either or. Or you can create a point on a sketch and pull it out of the sketch, so it'll be a 3D point. So we can go on the sketch right here, and we can try to disassemble it. And you see over here, we got a point, and it's got this a mark over here that shows us that this point, it's not linked with anything. See, this point right here is linked with the surface. It's isolated. So if I click on this point, I can edit it because it's linked with the origin, with the surface. But if I click on this point right here, it's not linked with anything. See, if I double click on it, it's nothing. So it's all standing alone. So that's why I like when I build my geometry, I want to make sure that everything is linked together, because if I don't like this, I can just click on my sketch, edit it, and then automatically it's going to update my model. But once you break the link, we're gonna have a little bit of problems. So for right now, to break the link, to get this over here, it's very easy. We can go to, you do right click and you go isolate. So if I isolate it right now, you see you got this icon over here. So right now those 2 points are in a space. They're not linked to anybody. If I want to do something to it, oh, it's still oh, there you go. It knows what I did, but I cannot edit it. Oh, let's see if it works. Yeah, it doesn't let you. It knows how I create the point and everything, but see, I cannot edit it. So I try to enter the dimension in here, nothing. So just keep this in mind. If you wanted to take your geometry or whatever and take it out of the sketch, break the link, you just do a right click and isolate. But this one is already isolated. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Let me do Control Z couple times. Control Z, Control Z. I'm just hitting the Control Z right now to make sure I bring my point back. Okay, so I got it back right now. It's all linked again. Good. Alright, so now you know about that. So let's go back to our parallel curve. Click on the curve. It's gonna ask us the curve that you wanted to do a parallel. Now we can do a dimension. We can choose, let's say, 0.5. And let's do a preview. So that's our curve right there, offsetted. Or if you want to just click on the point and you do a preview, that's our offset curve. Let's go back to the law and show you a couple crazy things about this law. It's pretty cool. So let's do a right click over here and clear selection. That way we're going to be able to go to the law. So see, once you open the law definition, you're able to see a couple things in here. You can create a constant curve, which is this right now. We can create a linear. We can define each end individually. We can define each end. We can go minus over here. We can go plus over here. We can go S type. And we can go advanced. Advanced is the one that I just showed you already. So let's go to a constant. Already tried it. 0.2. Click OK. Preview. Everything from here to here is 0.2. Okay, let's go back to the law. Let's try linear. So I'm going to go 0.2 over here and minus 0.2 over here. Because on a constant, I'm not able to do nothing with this. So let's click back linear and now watch what it does. See, it goes minus 0.2 plus 0.2 over here. Let's go back to the law. Try the S type. We'll leave the same dimensions in there. Let's do a preview. And actually with the S type, let's go a little bit more so I can show you actually what it does. Let's keep 0 on one and minus 0.5 on the other. So we can see better. It's not a constant. Those are not constant. We can do the same thing but constant, okay? So let's click on a linear and do the same thing and watch how it's going to change the shape. Now they're constant because the other one it's a law. I mean the other one's S type, okay? So you can change this plus or minus. You can go minus 0.2 over here, 1 inch over here. So those are some of the options you can use with the parallel curve definition. Let's see what else we got here. So I did the parallel curve, and let's go to a 3D curve offset. So let's insert another geometrical set. Let's insert 3D curve offset into our test. Click OK. Let's turn off this one. Okay, so let's open, let's make a sketch on a ZY plane. And let's create a weird spline. Okay, let's get out of the sketch now. And let's go to the same plane. And let's give it an offset. Let's make it -3 inches. Click OK. Let's open another sketch onto that plane, and let's make another spline for us. Okay, let's escape and get out of here. And we want to try to use the connect curve to connect these curves. So let's ask now for the first curve, which is this sketch, and let's make sure we give it this point, and then let's click on the second curve and on the point, and you see we got the connection over there. We can click reverse, so we'll make it nice and smooth, and we can change the tension on this curve as much as we need to. Okay, same on this other side. So we got a tension over there. We got the connect curve. We can edit it and make it more fancy if we want to. We can click on the sketch and grab this point and move it up over here. And once we're gonna get out, automatically is gonna update our curve. So you've got the tension over there. If we double click on it, we can change the tension. Same thing over here. We can double click on this, grab the whole sketch if you want to, move this up a little bit. So we got a 3D curve right now, and let's try pretty quick to use this 3D curve offset. It's not gonna work right now because all these are 3 different entities. They're not together. They're not linked together. So you see them over here, 1, 2, 3. So they are linked together, but they're not one piece. So if you try to use this, and we try to click on this with the plane that we wanted to offset it from, it's going to try to offset only this curve only. See that? But if you want to do the whole, if you want to offset this whole thing, the whole 3D curve, what we can do, we can just highlight everything, holding the control key down, and let's go to join option. We join it, and if you do a preview, we got one nice curve right now, which is called joint right here. So we have only one entity right now. So if I click on this, change the color, we have only one entity. So if I go back to the 3D curve offset, you see I want to offset this curve, and it's asking for the pulling direction. You can make a plane, so it's gonna go on this plane. The dimension is too big, so let's change this a little bit. We went too far. So we see we got an offset over there, and also we can go the other direction. Yeah, it doesn't like it. It went too far. So let's go let's reverse the direction. So that's our curve right there. And if you want to make something crazy, we can connect it by using this blend option. And we got a crazy weird surface over there. And also we can change the direction. Right now we clicked on this plane, but we can click on that plane and create our own, let's say we want to go this direction. So create a line we can double click on the 3D curve offset, and on the pulling direction, instead of a plane, we just click this line. And see, right now we got the different shape. So I just kind of play with it, see whatever works. You can change the tension over here. See, if you're going too far, it doesn't like it, so we can go back to 400. Okay, so that's how that option works. Click OK. So we learned how to use the connect and the 3D curve offset. See that over there? I try to change the color. Let me Control Z it. Control Z. If I click on the surface and I try to change the color, it did only one, even though this is one huge link together, but it just did only this area. But if I go in here and I just change the color, it just changed the whole part. So if you want to just kind of keep that in mind. Okay. I want to give it a try. Let's go moving forward. I want to try one of those options in here. We try the connect curve. I want to try the corner 3D, and circle is pretty easy. You just click on a circle, and then you see over here you just have a couple options you can choose from, 3 points, and just click on it and then just grab your arc. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Everything that we're talking over here is 3D, so there is no sketch. So you're building this arc on a 3D mode, and I want to give it a try. Try something more difficult. So let's create some corner on a 3D view. Again, let's turn this off. Let's hide it. Okay, turn it off, and let's insert another geometrical set. And let's create corner. Let's make sure we put it in our same subfolder with the test. So let's do right click, change geometrical set, and we can make sure we put it in our test. Click OK. Let's see, let's open surface. Let's see, let's create something else more crazy. Let's create another, let's create a line here. Let's get out of the sketch, open another sketch, create a line here, and let's use the blend option. It's pretty self-explanatory right there. Connect the curves. Let's change the color. Let's create a bump into this part again. So let's open another sketch on top of this. So it doesn't want to create this. I guess it's not planar, so it doesn't want to create the sketch on this. So let's create a sketch on the XY plane. Let's build ourselves a weird shape in here. A spline. Escape. Exit workbench. This is pretty close to the edge, so I want to bring it up a little bit. And I want to create a bump into the surface. Oh, I forgot to create my the center. We don't have a center. Let's see if I try this corner if it works. It doesn't like it. So let's get out of here and let's create ourselves a little point. I'm gonna create a plane. I'm gonna offset this plane 3 inches, and I'm gonna create a point, 3D point on that plane. So I'm gonna bring this pretty much on the top view, and I'm gonna put my point in here, and let's give it a try again. Try the bump option again. So the surface with this limit curve over here, and let's give it the direction. The direction, let's go this direction. Let's click on this plane and let's put over here 2 inches. So we got a little bump in here. Now what we're trying to do, let's change the color. Let's turn this off. Let me change the color something darker. Let's turn this off. I want to create, let me turn this off too. I want to project some lines through this right here. So let's go back into my sketch. Onto this plane, and let's create 2 lines across. Let's get out of the sketch, and let's project these 2 onto the surface. First of all, we have to let me see if it's gonna work if I don't split them up first, because right now they're linked together. So I want to do a projection. So I want to project this along the direction, this sketch along there. So this is already set up on along the direction. We got the sketch already highlighted. Support is going to be the bump surface, and the direction is going to be up and down. So if you do a preview, yeah, I have to put nearest solution. I have to take it out of there. So let's go top view. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Click OK. Keep both elements, and let's try to use this corner option. See if I need to split it. Yes, I needed to split it. So let's go back on the project right here. Let's first tune off this sketch. I have it more nice and organized. So this project right now we can break it, because when I was trying to create a corner, it knows everything. It's a one link together, one line. So I want to break this curve with this curve, so then I'll be able to create corner radiuses around it. So let's highlight it, and let's go to disassemble. And right now, as you see on all cells, it says 8, because we got one cell from here to here, another cell all the way from here to here, and from here to here. So I don't want to break it in all cells. I want to break it in domains only. and it shows that I have 4. Okay, so let's break it. I got 4 domains. Let me turn this off. So I got, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me change the color of this guy with this guy, no, this guy with this guy. Let's change the color to make it and the thickness. And let me change the color of those 2 guys. No, this guy with this guy. Let's change it to blue, and let's put some thickness over there. And let's give it another try right now to use the radius again. Let's put over here 1/2 inch. Actually, let's make it 1 inch. So as you see right now, this is our direction, and you can have a couple options. You can click trim, and if you do a preview, it's gonna break it right here, and just gonna keep that. So that's our curve. That's our curve 3D. And actually, what we can do, let me delete this out of here and try something more cooler. So I'm gonna connect this line with this line and make it one curve only. Okay, so I'm just gonna join this, and I'm gonna do a preview. So right now this became one curve, as you see right here, join. And I'm gonna take this line with this line, and I'm gonna join them. I'm gonna do a preview. And let's change the color again. Let's change this color. So right now what I did, I just instead of having 4 links, I just want to have 2. So I grabbed this guy with this guy, and I just linked them together. So right now if I take this and turn it off, it's one item. Okay, and same thing with this guy. If I turn it off, it's one curve only. And right now let's try this option again with corner. So let's click join number 2 or join number 3, and watch how many options we got now. Because I wanted to have this next solution, I want to make sure I can show you how this works also. So let's make this a little smaller to 1/2 inch. Preview. Let's make it 800. So this is our corner radiuses. So if I do right now a preview, and if I trim, it's gonna trim this all the way over here, and everything else is gonna be gone. And probably I don't want that, right? So what we can do, just double click on the corner, and if you don't like this radius over here, you can put the next solution, and it's gonna jump to 2. So see, 2 has got highlighted. Next solution goes to 3. So if you click OK, it took everything else out. So you double click back on it. So you can go next solution, and choose the one you prefer. And also we can click trick element on the trim element, click just turn them off. And if you click a preview, instead of trimming, you just get a curve. Okay, so let's click next element. So you just get a curve. And if you want to have all of them all at once, you can do you can copy this, do right click, copy, and you click on it and you put paste, Control V. So now if I double click on this, I click on the next solution and I click OK, and I have the other radius. Now let's do a Control V again to paste it. Let's go again, next solution, click OK. What did I do? Let's see. Okay, let's go maybe next solution. Okay, and let's Control V again, paste the last one, and let's make sure you get number 4. Let's click OK, and now we got all 4 curves in there. So that's how this option works. Corner, it's a 3D corner.